What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Nice to see you guys again. Hopefully you guys are having a good day, whatever time of the day that it is on your side. We're going to be speaking on the Scorpios for this reading, as you can see from the title of this video. Let's begin. Okay, let's see. Alright, so the first one I have for you guys is love. So this could be a future love connection coming for you guys, or you could be even loving the passion that you're going to be pursuing. We're going to be seeing what is coming out for love. Okay, so King Arthur, right? So this love could be an original story, right? It could be kind of a story that is unexpected. As you guys, well, as I've heard from the King Arthur story, it comes from a standpoint of this person, you know, kind of not as like a warrior or like as big as the rest of the people that, you know, try to pull the sword. His story is very unique, you know what I mean? And as you can see, he has his personal dragon here, so you could be connecting with your personal lover, or even a passion that you hold deep to your heart, my Scorpio. So this could be like a unique story that you never really thought it could happen. As you guys, well, as I've heard from this King Arthur story, where he had a bunch of men stand up trying to pull the sword out the rock. You know what I mean? And then just so happens this guy just comes along, just looks normal, and pulls it, right? That's what I know of King Arthur. You know, if you guys know a different story, let me know in the comment section below. But at the moment, I feel like you guys have this unique love that you never really thought. This love for someone or something that you never thought could be possible, or you never thought it would happen at the time that it happened, right? So this unique love connection with someone or something, right? Depending on what the situation is. Right, we have initiation, so taking that leap, taking that step, taking that first initiative step towards it, right? So if this is a lover, for an example, you know, maybe asking them out for a date, or you know, getting to know them more, or things like that. And if this is a passion, you know, try to, you know, even if you do it on a side note, right, just try to look into it more, see if this is something that you really genuinely want to do, or is it something that's just catching your eye at the moment, right? Taking the step, taking the initiation, making time for things will bring out way more than if you just, you know, let it play out. So making time for stuff. All right. Okay, we have here a new world, right? So this could be this love connection that you're going to be stumbling upon, or that you have stumbled upon for my Scorpio. It's going to be a new world, so it's going to seem like, you know, things are going to be turning a leaf for you guys, or things are going to be coming out. Like it's going to be kind of like a new step, a new stage. You know how they say new year, new me type of thing? It's going to be like that type of vibe. It's going to feel like, you know, everything is, you know, gradually freshening up, right? So this could be, as I said, this could be a new love, or this could be a connection, something to do with a love, something to do with something you're passionate about, rather someone or something, right? But it's going to feel like a new world. It's going to feel like a new beginning for you guys. We have artists, right? So you're going to be receiving creativity with this individual, or either the individual that you're passionate about, or whether the relationship or the craft that you're trying to pursue, right? So there's going to be a lot of creativity going on here. You're going to be feeling like an artist. You're going to be kind of molding this, like I said, this unique whether relationship or this unique creativity that you're going to be withholding, right? These are the things where it's uncomparable to others, or even you have your own flow of it, your own way of it, and you know, just kind of. And as you guys can see from this picture, as you can see, there's like plants in the background, and this person's typically like gardening or something like that. So I feel like also sometimes you gotta let things take its time, right? Sometimes things do take its time. It's kind of like plants, right? Plants are not always gonna grow all season around. Sometimes you're gonna have your bad days, you're gonna have your bad moments, but as long as you continually water, meaning if you're watering your relationship, continuously growing with the person, or if you have a skill set or like a creative standpoint on some type of creativity thing that you're trying to do, or this new journey, as long as you're continuously watering it, metaphorically watering, meaning in real time, you're practicing it. You know, you're treating your lover with respect. You're practicing your goals. This could go both ways, so just keep this in mind. Through all seasons, you're not always gonna have the best crops, meaning the best love connection, or not the best love connection, but you know, peachy all the time, or a great work environment and things like that. But as long as you continuously water the plants and continuously get better, things will seem the things that was considered problems years ago will be considered less problems as time goes on, because you're gonna kind of like turn your flowers or daisies into more of a cactus in a sense, because the cactus typically is able to withstand a lot of bad weather. Like if you guys look at older people, right? Or I won't say older people, but people that's typically their mental state is where it needs to be, right? A lot of things don't necessarily bother them as much as if somebody fresh in the game. Like say for an example, if you're looking and you're watching a football or basketball game and you have like the rookie, they would say, that goes on the court and gets fouled, and now his like, it's just like his first season, so he probably don't know how to react to it. So we gotta look at all of these details, because us focusing on those details will enhance our ability to not only attract the abundance that we're desired from this love connection or this career choice, but it will also allow us to be able to navigate through situations that we feel is the best result. We're gonna start thinking about things more, and as I said, the longer you're in the game, a lot less things will bother you, thereby making it more time for you to focus more on enhancing your abilities, whether with the love connection or with the career choice that you're pursuing, right? So just keep that in mind. It also came under love, so it's going to be a creative love. We have explorer, right? Adventure. So you and this partner could be taking, new adventures, taking new trips to different sceneries. This could even be in your city or your island or your region, wherever you're located, right? From London to the U.S. to Trinidad to I want to say to Jamaica, to the islands, wherever. Like even if you feel like you're more of a local type of traveler, you might go to nature parks. You might do things that's different from just going to the mall and going shopping. You might actually go out and just sit by the water. You might start creating new ways, because like I said, this is going to be a creative way. Now, if this is not a love connection, but it's more so of your career choice or career path that you've stumbled upon, then this could be more of a adventurous way, right? You're kind of taking it differently. As I said, there's going to be a lot of uniqueness going on, right? You're going to be taking things differently head on, right? You're going to start to kind of be creative about it, So it's going to be a lot of adventures coming in for you guys, whether love connection or whether it's a career choice, right? And when I say career, I'm talking longevity. I'm talking like something that you want to do for the next 20, 15, 30 years, or possibly all your days, right? So we'll see how that goes. We have grandmother, right? We have grace. So this could be something to do with grace, or having kind of feeling out, just kind of maybe this could standpoint from old age, right? Maybe this could be having that patience type of, typically like, older people, I want to say like older people in the like 70s and up are typically like, more relaxed, and because by that time you're kind of, you feel, I wouldn't say 70 is old, but you kind of feel more at ease with yourself. As I said, they've had a lot of years to establish who they are as a person. So you could be feeling this energy of just contentment, and I'm not talking about contentment as far as like you not being able to grow anymore and things like that, but I mean, and this is why I feel like it's so important for you guys to focus on yourselves and focus on developing yourself as a character, because that's the foundation, right? If you find yourself chasing things or just going and you don't reflect on who you are as a person, you're going to find yourself burning out a lot of times. You're going to find yourself getting tired and getting irritable and things like that. But if you find yourself and find out who you need to be, and you focus on bettering yourself and understanding who you are, and this comes from different aspects. This could be, for me personally, I like to read books. I like to place timings on things. I like to have a routine. Something that where my body and my mind and my soul and my emotions could even play into part. They know what time it is. Like for an example, if you're doing something you're typically not used to, your brain is gonna go in a negative route, right? But my brain already knows, Micah, the alarm goes off, it's time to get up in the morning. Oh, Micah, when you train, it's time to put your, and it's not for everybody, but I'm showing you guys a perfect example, right? The reason why I do this is because it gives me that foundation to keep on going. So whenever there are situations to where I might not know where I want to go. I just relate off of what I'm doing in the day. So this could be like a ill, kind of not a ill soul, but kind of just a relaxed mindset, laid back, kind of just know where you're going, because they typically know what they got going on. And this allows you to get more in touch with nature, allows you to get more in touch with the world around you, right? Because if we're busy, 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 we're not really enjoying the moments. We're just kind of just searching for that gratification when we get there. But it's important to enjoy the process so you don't feel like everything was a waste of time. So just, start focusing on yourself, start being more relaxed with yourselves, and start, and this doesn't mean going slow and steady. And I'm talking about even if you're somebody that goes hard, like, you wake up early, you do this, you do that, you could do all of that as long as that's applicable to your life and you enjoy doing it and you feel good about doing it and things like that, right? And get yourself on some type of rhythm. That way you're living life, you're doing what you need to do, you're handling business, but most importantly, you're being able to connect with your side with a higher self, because you kind of consciously know where you're going, right? Like I said, with my routine, I know what I'm gonna do in my day. I know what time I come on live. I know what time I go do cleaning, cooking, all of that stuff. So it's more natural when I do stuff. Like, it just feels good. Like, cause I don't have to worry. I can live in the moment. I don't have to think about what time I should clean, what time I should cook, what time I should work. I don't have to do that because everything's set up for me. And an applicable way that applies to my life, right? And this could be for you as well. So just find your own passion, find your own purpose, and be able to do it in a way that it feels natural. If you're running around like a chicken with no head, it's going to feel unnatural. You're not going to want to do it, and you're going to oftentimes lead into a brick position to where you don't want to do it, you don't feel like doing it, and your brain is telling you shouldn't do it either. So just keep this in mind when it comes down to having grace and having patience and just easing into things. We have passion, right? So this could be something you're probably not been having a passion for, and as I say, you're gonna be transitioning into a new world, right? So this could be something at the moment you probably didn't have a passion for, or because it's in reverse, this could be something you never really had a passion for, but you're switching. So don't never be. Let me tell you guys, never be like, if I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. If you're got this, let's just say you have this offer or this new thing that you're doing, this opportunity, and the thing that you're currently doing isn't something that you necessarily are 100% passionate about. It's okay to try the new thing out. Like, it's not going to kill you to try a new position, right? Remember something, like the only thing is going to probably affect is your financial stability. That's the only thing that potentially could affect. It could affect that. But if you're doing what you're doing for the grade of good or the grade of pleasing not only yourself but others, like, as long as you're not conflicting bodily harm with somebody or emotional damage, then I think it should be fine. Whatever you're pursuing, as long as, you know what I'm saying, keeping in mind the nature and everything like that, because everything does bring energies. What the energy you put in something is the energy you get back. So if you're destroying things, you're gonna destroy yourself. It's gonna be a self-destruction button for you. But if something that you're doing currently isn't your passion and things like that, and you want to try something new, the only thing you gotta worry about is the financial stability. But if you're perfectly fine with accepting everything that comes with your new journey, then it should be fine. You know what I mean? If you're accepting of all the setbacks and this and that, and you're not getting it how you used to get it, then hey, chase that fire burning, the sensation is telling you to try something new. Because like I said, the only worst comes to worst is money or finances. But otherwise than that, it's everything we do in life, whether it's cleaning, training, cooking, going out, this and that, they're all bodily activities, right? It's all the same thing. There's no difference. There's just movement, right? It's all about how we feel about it. It only becomes a regret when we look back on it and say, oh man, I should have, or I wish I would have did this or did that. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to have regrets. You want to actually pursue it if it's possible. Now, if things are more important than that desire, for an example, you have kids and you're like, I'm doing it for my kids, then okay, I understand that part. But if you feel like you don't have any uh, set responsibilities where you can make this movement, or nothing that's responsible is affecting you from making this movement, then I encourage you guys to do so. Right? So just keep that in mind. Even if you feel like changing situations or going into a relationship and you just maybe got out of one a few months ago and you're getting into a new one, or you're changing careers and you feel like, well, I'm comfortable with this one, it's paying bills, maybe this one, and if you feel like it's already, it can get set up to where you can do a little her to try it out, do so. Or date this person here and there to try them out, do so. But again, initiative, taking initiative towards those steps, it's very important. Next we have know you are loved. Right? Whether it's from, even if it's not from your peoples, and I always say this because typically this is important, excuse me. I want you guys to kind of get in the mindset, and it's not going to happen overnight, but get into the mindset of understanding that the only person that unconditionally, or not the only person, but you want to, for one, if higher power loves you, right? Regardless of what you do, even considerably, well, I don't want to speak for him, but even like considerably the enemies or whatever, at one point he loved them too, you know what I mean? Probably not, I don't know about now, but the point is, the higher power loves you, right? So now next step is to understand you have to love yourself as well, right? You have a spirit teams and things like that love you. You also gotta love yourself, right? And make sure you guys are not seeking love from connections from people that typically, even if they have a label, right? Mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, brother, sister, things like that, cousins, relatives, even if they have a label, try not to put your all into trying to accept it all the time, accept love, allow things to play out how they play out, and go from there, right? But make sure that you guys know you're loved by not only the higher power, but also yourself. So know you're loved, somebody out there loves you. Even if you don't necessarily know it, there's somebody that loves you. So just keep this in mind next time you feel useless or worthless or whatever the case is. Somebody loves you, somebody has love for you, meaning somebody cares about you and somebody understands your value. So you are valuable. Everybody has a value to play in this part, especially if you're doing the right thing and you're doing what you're supposed to do and you're handling business, you're staying out the way. You play a huge role in society. And in some cases, you might feel worthless and useless and things like that. I'm not going to say don't feel that way sometimes, because that's our human characteristic. Sometimes it just gets the best out of us because depression hits hard. But always keep this in mind. If you got to come back and watch this video, just keep this in mind. Write it down. Know you are loved. You are loved by someone. Someone very much cares about you. Somewhere in this world, somewhere in this universe, you are loved by someone. And someone sees you meaning the world to them. Right? So just keep this in mind. We have be humble, right? Be humble. Always be humble. Let me tell you guys, like confidence is not like arrogance. I mean, when you're confident, you can often come off as that, but being humble just means kind of just you're confident, but you're kind of allowing room for improvement, right? You're accepting the fact that you don't know everything. Like they say, a wise man knows nothing, right? So you just kind of, you're confident in what you do, right? But it's also very much helpful if you sit back. Now, if you have to do a task, right, at hand, cook, I keep saying cook, but I feel like everybody cooks, right? Or everybody should, but as an adult. But my point is, when you get to a point where if you need to do things by yourself, you just, you handle it. You're confident at that point. But if there's people that is willing to teach you things or whatever, create even if you have to set a time for it. Set a time, set a date. Lay back, let things be taught. Allow your mind to intake information at some given point. Now, you're not always going to feel like this. But at some given point, set yourself aside to intake information. So then you allow yourself to kind of release that tension of wanting to do everything or wanting to pursue everyone, even if this is a relationship thing. Like I say, in a relationship, be humble as well, because you got to be willing to intake it. You can't let your ego get the best of you a lot of times, right? So just keep this in mind. Being humble, like I said, you can be confident, but just giving yourself that time to intake information will benefit us more than anything. And sometimes any hard in the moment, you might not want to hear it out or things like that, or you might not even want to listen right now. But just keep this in the back of your head, so next time come around, next situation presents itself in a matter of teaching you a task, you can respond more appropriately than probably you did before in other situations, whether it be relationship or career choice, whatever that might be, right? We have relax, right? It's important while you're going through it, while you're working through things and things like that, give yourself time to kind of just take a break and just chill or vibe or whatever the case is, whatever you like to do. I don't know if you guys like to listen to music, go for a walk, whatever the case is. Give yourself time in your day to just chill out. You know what I mean? Work is only work if you have relaxing times put in place. If you don't relax in between work sessions, it's not work anymore. It's just you just moving your body. Like, imagine if we never slept. Imagine if our body didn't need a rest. We'll just be going, and then we won't have time to collect all the information. Like, if you're on social media and you're just on the shorts, you know how they have like shorts on YouTube, Facebook, Netflix even. If you're just absorbing all of these for 24 hours, most likely your mind is not going to intake, like, you're not going to reflect on a lot of those things. You're just kind of, you're going to remember them if they present themselves to you, but you're not going to necessarily reflect on what you just seen. So I like to, if I'm watching some videos or whatever the case is, as I said before, I do some reading. When I'm reading, I'm typically, my mind is focused on the book and is collecting a story. But some cases, if I'm not, like, if I'm reading words, let's say I'm getting to the beginning of the book, and it takes a while for the story to really start picturing in my mind. There's a lot of different information that just kind of gets dissected and reflected upon as I'm reading, because my mind is still trying to catch the story. It's still trying to picture in my head. So I'm still like okay, a different short or a video, whatever the case is, or somebody said this, and it's like all these information just comes together like a puzzle piece. So the reason why I say all this is because if you give yourself time to reflect on a lot of things can make more sense. But if we're just, it's like for an example, if you're around somebody all day, right? Every day, a whole year, you're just around them. It's kind of like if you're working for at a specific place or whatever the case is. You're just there. You're just being in the moment. You're just being present. You don't really reflect on it until after you leave the position or after you leave somebody's house, and then you give yourself that 24 hours or that 48 hours or that week or that month to just reflect on all these little things, because that could be a lot of red flags. For an example, like it could be you noticed a lot of different things that took place. At first, in the moment, you probably was just like, okay, that was weird. You just kind of just kept moving, right? But it's important to notice these things and give yourself time to reflect. As I said, relaxing, give yourself time to reflect. Even if, let's say you get off from work or whatever the case is, and you go home and you don't watch TV or whatever, because you were just in the moment doing all this. Maybe you just sit down for 10 minutes and just chill off in a chair and just kind of get your brain going. Or even if you go for a run or whatever the case is, you can do something physically with your body, but let your mind wander sometimes. Let your mind collect information, or not collect, but reflect on all of the things that you've witnessed in that day. So maybe you can start piecing things together and things will make, a lot more sense. Because like I said, if you're just going, and you're not reflecting, a lot of things you don't really intake as information. You more so intake it as just something you just seen or witnessed. But it could be something within that could teach you a lesson. So just keep this in mind. I know it sounds very like all over the place, but it's as simple as coming away from things, going for a run or a jog, or not even a run or jog, but just relaxing in your chair. What's applicable to you, right? I mean, let's be real. If you don't really, if you can't really run, I'm not gonna suggest you to run. Or if you can't really go outside right now because it's like stormy or it's windy outside or whatever, I'm not gonna suggest you to go outside at all. So the best thing you can do is just sit down. If you don't have no books or no access to a book at the moment, you can just sit down in your chair, relax a little bit, just clear your mind. You know, allow your mind to just wander. Don't think about nothing. Just let it wander, and then it will start piecing things together. Believe it or not. But that's why we have all these devices. Because a lot of times, if they promote us to keep scrolling and all of this, then our mind is never idle. So our mind is never getting to think about the things we've seen. It's just collecting information. And that information is useless if it's not broken down and dissected and reflected upon and pieced together and where it all makes sense. We gotta allow our time to make sense. If we're spending time intaking all this information and we're not using it, then it's useless. But if we intake it, dissect it, reflect on it, and let our brains actually tell us information, it can work itself out. That's why you have a lot of people that are smart, but they can't problem solve because they just intook all this information. They never really had time to reflect and come away and, you know, sit off and just kind of just think about things and things like that, because is that capability that allows you to problem solve, allows you to do things, allows you to think about problems, and allows you to move a lot smarter too. We have trust the universe, right? Allow things to play out through this career, relationship, creativity. I don't know what it is that you guys are doing. I can only hope for the best for you guys. But whatever it is you guys are doing, allow things to play itself out. Give yourself time. As I said before, the worst comes to worst, and today we live in is the financial stability. But I want you guys to focus on yourselves. And I always keep saying this. I'm going to keep saying it to the day I die. Focus on you guys selves. Focus on building that structure, right? Even like videos, right? Videos could typically be like stressful or whatever the case is. But once I started to focus on my own path and focus on my own journey and my own creativity and be able to piece together my own schedule, my own routine, and not overwork myself or underwork myself and give myself that smooth transition, it kind of seems a lot more unique. You know what I mean? It seems a lot more easy. I've got things in my day that I don't necessarily have to like transfer to you guys, because you guys have to find your own purpose, and I don't want to influence you guys. I'll give you guys little things like, okay, wake up early, whatever the case is, have a little routine. These are all little pointers, but you still got to find out what it is that's applicable for you at the moment, right? Like I said, if you have a certain lifestyle that you want to obtain and you want to keep your money flow, whatever case you say, you don't have nobody to assist you and things like that, then it's probably not applicable for you to do what I do, right? So just because I was in certain positions where I wasn't able to do what I'm doing now. So let's just say this, right? Look at what you do in your life. Look at where you're trying to go and ask yourself, if what you're trying to do, are you willing to take a step back to start something new, right? Sometimes it's better to take a step back, and maybe you might have to switch out your positions. You might have to kind of pull away from maybe getting it as quick. Maybe you was going to get this new thing quick in 5-7 years, but maybe you might have to pull a step back to maybe wait 10 years or 12 years. And I'm not trying to put years on you guys, because like I said, it could happen in 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, you don't know. But it's up for us to kind of, with this related to this message, if it's relationship or if it's career or whatever the case is, even in life, it's up for us to accept everything that comes with it, right? So just keep this in mind. Hopefully it was transparent. Hopefully this reading helped you guys. Hopefully what I said assisted you in any shape, way, or form. If it did, the only thing I ask from you guys is like, share, comment, and subscribe. All of that good stuff you do on YouTube already. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I will be dropping a comment, as you guys can see from this video. It should be already dropped a comment. Feel free to comment on that comment. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys on the next video.